Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my transfer plans for Game Week 22 and also how I'm currently getting on in Game Week 21. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are your future FPL plans for Game Week 22, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, Game Week 21 isn't going too badly at the moment. Unfortunately, I did captain Mo Salah, who did blank against Forest last night. Obviously, as a Forest fan, I'll take the draw, but as a Salah captainer, it would have been nice if their goal was from the Egyptian King, but unfortunately it was from Jota, who always seems to score against us, which is really annoying. But anyway, currently on 33 points. The rest of my players that did play kind of got me out of jail, really. Robinson getting 2 assists and the bonus point as well. Absolute legend. He's just such a good player to own this season, and I know a lot of people wanted to go like Anderson and Castagna and stuff just to save a little bit of money, but they just didn't have that assist potential from Robinson. He's on like 9-10 assists this season already, which is ridiculous. So yeah, very happy with Robinson. Obviously, Palmer got the goal and the max bonus. Luckily, his effective ownership, I don't think for my rank was over 100%, so he didn't actually hurt my rank too much. But obviously, it would have been nice if I'd captained him instead. Salah, of course, did blank. Probably should have got a goal in that Forest game, though. He did have a couple of good chances. He had a goal cleared off the line as well from Aina. So, yeah, very close to getting a couple of goals in that fixture. But either way, it wasn't to be. Mbeumo also really unlucky, had a goal cleared off the line in the last couple of minutes in that City game. He also created quite a few chances as well, so I think relatively unlucky not to get anything from Mbeumo. But either way, he's just got a 19-point haul. I'm absolutely fine. You know, he could have got a goal. It just is what it is. And then Chris Wood, the absolute legend. I brought him in a couple of weeks ago, and he's returned in both of those weeks. He's just on ridiculous form, and he's got Southampton at home next week as well. So, or this weekend, should I say? So hopefully, he can get something from that game. But yeah, currently on 33 points. I've had 5 players play. Just also want to say, like, it doesn't really have anything to do with my team, but I don't understand how Trent did not get booked last night at least once. Like, kicking the ball away is a bookable offense, and he punched the ball away and made contact with one of our players. I don't understand how that wasn't a bookable offense. It is a little bit annoying because obviously Trent is relatively highly owned, and you know, that yellow card would have been nice. You know, every point makes a difference. But yeah, I have no idea how he didn't get booked in that fixture last night. I'm very happy with the result. Obviously, as a Forest fan, I'll take a point at home to Liverpool. But yeah, I feel like the ref made some interesting decisions last night. I don't know, maybe that's just a little bit biased, but either way, that's the game. Currently got a few players left to play, though. João Pedro, who's got Ipswich away. Again, a little bit worried about him because I know a lot of people did bench him. So I don't know if there's like information going around that I missed or something. But yeah, if he doesn't play or he is benched or whatever, maybe Rodgers comes off the bench anyway, so I'm fine with that. Unfortunately, if Isak doesn't play either, because he's also technically a doubt with that hamstring injury, I would have Colwill coming off the bench. And again, this is another reason why I want to get rid of Colwill, just simply because he's a little bit of a fraud in terms of FPL points. He just doesn't ever return. And I did decide to roll this week. I was potentially going to get rid of Colwill for Lewis Hall and play him over Gabriel, which again, still not sure if that was the correct decision, whether to do that or roll, because obviously those teams haven't played yet. But yeah, I cannot wait to get rid of Colwill. He's just not getting anything at all. And Chelsea just look a little bit rocked at the moment. You know, they've gotten like 2 points from 15 or something. It's a bit crazy how they've sort of fallen off at the moment. But yeah, hopefully one of Isak or João Pedro plays, and if the other doesn't, then you know Rodgers comes off the bench against Everton. But either way, it's still a green arrow. We're in the top 100k now, currently sitting on 90,549. So we'll see how that kind of unfolds over these next couple of games, over these next couple of days. Do have Bruno Fernandes against Southampton at home, who obviously is very low owned. So if he can get something big in that Southampton game, then my rank is going to look even better this week. Obviously, there are a couple players that I am still a little bit worried of because I don't have a lot of Newcastle players, etc. So the rank could be taking a hit. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, currently on 33 points. I'll take it. It's a green arrow. A little bit unfortunate about the captaincy blank, but because we're still on a green arrow, can't really complain too much. So yeah, we'll see how we get on tonight. Moving on to the transfers though, and since my last recording, there obviously has been the confirmation of double game weeks and stuff in 24. You know, we have a little bit more idea about blanks and stuff in 29. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of unpack. and that will also kind of take a bit of an effect on my transfers, because Newcastle and Palace are most likely going to be blanking in Game Week 29. I don't really want to bolster my team with those sort of players, which is another reason why I decided to roll and not go with Lewis Hall. I mean, the fixtures are still really, really good for Newcastle, and you can easily transfer him out. But at this point in time, I'm trying to save every single transfer, because I think I'm not going to be using my wildcard until like the later stages of the season, because there's seemingly a pretty good chip plan you can play. I'm going to triple captain in Game Week 24 with Mo Salah, and then after that, I probably won't wildcard till like 30. Then you've got your assistant manager, your bench boost, your free hit, and stuff like that. There are going to be doubles on the later kind of end of the season. I want my chips for all of that. But yeah, I think I'm kind of set on definitely triple captaining Mo Salah in 24, but I only have one player from those teams that double, which is Mo Salah. So originally what I was going to do is bring in double Liverpool defense, but they just really, really don't look very good at the back anymore. And there's stats-wise, I think since his return from injury, I think Alisson is the worst goalkeeper, not in the league, but in terms of his like price and stuff, he's actually the worst goalkeeper to own. Because he's just conceding goals left, right, and centre. Like, we only had 2 or 3 shots last night on target, and obviously one of them went in. Chris Wood, absolute hero. But yeah, it's been like that for the last few weeks, though. They don't suffer a lot of chances conceded, but when they do, it always seems to go in. And I just don't think double Liverpool is just what I really want to do with my team, because originally I was going to go like Gabriel to Trent, and then Raya to Alisson, but the fixtures for Arsenal just aren't that bad, and I think I'd rather keep them, because they do have Wolves, Leicester, and West Ham in the next 5. And that's not too bad. I'm expecting a couple of clean sheets out of those fixtures, whereas Trent's expensive, and Trent, I don't even think he took a corner last night. He might have taken 1 or 2 actually. He might have taken like 1 free kick or something, but he's just not on set pieces. He's just not getting as forward as I want. And again, people are only like raving about Trent because of that 15-point haul a few weeks ago. And at the end of the day, it was a massive deflection. If that goal doesn't go in Crystal Palace don't hit the West Ham don't hit the post like they did a couple of times, that would have been a 1-2 point game. And then suddenly everyone's selling him. So I haven't seen enough from him to warrant me getting him in. Obviously, the double might be a little bit different because they have Ipswich at home, I think. And then, yeah, they have the double game week in 24. So maybe my decision gets changed a little bit for that. But at the same time, I don't know if he's a player that I want to bring in this week anyway. I do have 3 free transfers in the bank, and I've got 1.7 mil in the bank as well. So I can do something with that money. My funds are spread around a little bit. Like, Kirkes doesn't have great fixtures coming up, but he has a very, very good fixture in game week 29, which is Brentford at home. So I kind of want to keep Kirkes for that, and then maybe just bench him over the next few weeks. Again, Colwill is a player that I definitely want to get rid of. I might be bringing in Virgil as well, because Virgil's 6.4. I can't bring him in just from Colwill, but obviously I can make a different transfer as well to get the money for that. And I might just go Virgil over Trent, just because I'll still have that Liverpool defender, and I'll still have the kind of attacking threat from corners and stuff, whereas Trent's always just kind of like chilling on the edge of the box. But in terms of like a third Liverpool player, I honestly don't know where to go, because none of the attackers are sort of kind of like guaranteed to start apart from Salah, and the defense just isn't great at the moment. So I'm not a massive fan of it. There is also an Everton player that you could potentially go for as well, because they have 2 home fixtures, and you don't know how that Everton-Liverpool game is going to go. So maybe like Calvert-Lewin comes into the equation, potentially someone like McNeil. I really, really don't know. I don't know if I want to go, like some people are thinking of going Pickford, which is also an okay shout. But at the same time, it's just, I've only got so many free transfers, and I need to make every transfer count. So having 3 is obviously really nice, but do I really want to use all of them up for Liverpool and Everton players, where, you know, the double is okay for Liverpool, but it is 2 away fixtures and 2 teams that, you know, you could see them conceding against, and that's kind of what's putting me off a little bit. So maybe Van Dijk comes into the team, maybe Alisson comes into the team. I really don't know. I can easily go to Alisson with 1 transfer from Raya, but I do really want to get rid of Colwill as well. That is a player that I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of. I'd love to own a Forest defender right now for that Southampton at home fixture, because I feel like that's just a given 6 points, potentially more if they get bonus or whatever. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Obviously I have Chris Wood for that, but at the end of the day, it is a little bit worrying not owning a defense from well, a defender from the best defense currently in the league. I'd say anyway. We've got so many clean sheets recently. So yeah, I mean, it's nice having all this in the bank and the transfers, but with the blanks coming up, potentially anyway, and then obviously the doubles in 24, it's I have to pinpoint each player personally, and I am kind of looking a little bit more at Game Week 29, even though it's so far into the future. It is still something that I've kind of got in the back of my head. Like, Colwill has a terrible fixture in 29. He's got okay fixtures coming up, like that Southampton and Leicester game. Like, do I want to keep him for that? Potentially, but it's just a player that I'm going to be benching most weeks, really. And like I say, I have to bench Kirkes against Newcastle and probably Liverpool as well. Could play him against Forest potentially, but at the same time, it's just kind of thinking ahead. But I don't want to think ahead too much where I'm just not attacking the fixtures in front of me. So there's players that I'm just going to be holding for a while. Like, I think Mbeumo, I think I'm just going to hold. I think Bruno Fernandes is a fine hold as well. Salah, Palmer. Like, I've got so many penalty takers in my team. You know, I've got 7 penalty takers, which is so nice to have, because it's just an extra kind of benefit on a player. And, you know, Rodgers has been incredible this season as well, but then there's players like Iwobi who's also smashing it right now. But I mean, the Fulham fixtures are changing a little bit relatively soon. I mean, Leicester away is really good. United at home is not too bad, but obviously I'll have Bruno playing him. Newcastle away is not ideal, but then he's got Forest and Palace both at home, which are 2 okay fixtures from a defensive standpoint. So yeah, it's one of those really where I might just kind of like play the field a little bit, see what the team's looking like. Because if there are injuries, like if João Pedro's out for a while, I need to get rid of him. And to be fair, I'll probably go to Calvert-Lewin if João Pedro's out for a little bit and get him in for Game Week 24 for the double, because he's an easy downgrade and I'd actually get more money from that. But do I really want Calvert-Lewin for more than the double? Probably not. So I'm going to have to spend a transfer to get him in and then a transfer to get him out. Potentially back to João Pedro. I don't really know. But I mean, Calvert-Lewin, he should be on penalties as well anyway. So it's not like I'm losing a penalty taker for nobody. But I don't know. It's a tough one at the moment. But yeah, transfer plans for Game Week 22. I think I'm probably just going to roll again, because I can play Robinson, Munoz, and then probably Gabriel, who's got Villa at home. Because I don't think I really want to play Colwill, because Chelsea defense is just terrible at the moment. And Kirkes has got Newcastle away, so that doesn't really make sense. And then the midfield kind of picks itself. I can just do 4-3-3 again. But if João Pedro's injured, then obviously I have to sort him out. Liverpool at home isn't a great fixture from Mbeumo, but that's another reason why I'm not going to a Liverpool defender this week, because I've got an attacker playing them. Like I said, Chris Wood playing them for this game week, which is why I didn't go there. I've got Mbeumo playing them next game week, and then it's the double. Well, it's Ipswich home and then the double. So yeah, maybe I bring Trenton for that. It's a tough one, really. It's just when to know to jump onto kind of the Trent bandwagon. But again, he's not really produced anything that's making me want to spend all that money for him, because, like I say, he's barely taking set pieces. He's barely getting as forward as he was under Klopp, and it was just a deflected goal that's making him so kind of sought after. So yeah, it is an interesting one, but we'll see how the rest of these games go. Obviously, there could be a big injury tonight or tomorrow. It could be a red card or anything like that. You just don't know. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Tomorrow we'll probably do a wild card game week team selection. Game week 22 team selection might be on maybe on Friday. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. We'll have to plan it out. But either way, that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, peace.